If you clicked on this video, chances are you like snacks. I know I like snacks, so we can be friends. I am going to talk you through my top 10 snacks that I love to get on the go, nice and kind of macro-friendly, trackable treats, but also I'm going to talk to you about how I choose what I actually fit into my calories across the week in terms of snacks. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I don't believe in calling foods healthy, unhealthy, good, or bad or junk or anything like that. Some foods, of course, are more nutrient dense, some are less nutrient dense. All food is just food, and when it comes to achieving your goals, the most important thing is that it fits into your total calories for whatever your goal is, whether that's fat loss or whether that's muscle building. So before I get into, talking you through my snacks, I wanted to talk about marketing and brands in the supermarket. Of course, many brands are trying to capture your attention. I mean, all you need to do is look down the chocolate aisle or look down the biscuit aisle or even the kind of protein bar section of the supermarket, and you'll see all these different brands to the point where it can be really overwhelming. So a lot of brands are going to use buzzwords like gluten-free, dairy-free, high protein, low fat, low calorie, all these different things to trick you almost into buying their product thinking that it's going to be, better for you or healthier for you. So I am going to talk you through how you read nutritional labels, and if this isn't really your thing, you can skip ahead to me talking through my top 10 snacks. But anyway, so I'm going to use my phone to refer to the nutritional information, but in a few minutes I'll pop up all the information on the sidebar here so you can kind of pause the video at any point and just have a read through and kind of understand what I'm talking about. So I did find these skinny dipped almonds in the supermarket, and you'd think, oh, skinny dipped almonds, skinny, okay, maybe it's healthier. And the idea of it is that it uses a thinner kind of coat of chocolate than a normal kind of chocolate coated nut, which is great idea. But it comes in a big bag, and if you're anything like me, you really struggle to portion your snack. So I would find myself, if I bought this big bag of nuts, I find myself to keep going back to the bag and then mindlessly snacking on them. Also, I'd find it super tempting to have a big bag like that in the house. I would rather have it kind of portioned out into an individual serving if possible, or if I did buy the big bag, I would personally portion it out into small portions to keep in little jars in the cupboard, just so I can reach for that instead of eating from the bag. I never recommend eating snacks from the bag because chances are you're going to consume way more calories than you intended to. So when we're looking at almonds like these, nuts naturally are high in fat, and of course nuts are good for us. But if your goal is fat loss, you don't want to be just snacking on nuts all day because it's going to blow your weekly caloric intake through the window, and you'll be wondering why you're not losing weight even though you're working really hard across the week. So looking at these nuts, I also actually stumbled upon some Lindt milky chocolate balls. So they're kind of covered chocolate ball things, Maltesers, I think, but the Lindt brand. Anyway, so they looked yummy. The skinny dipped almonds looked yummy, and then I wanted to compare the backs of the labels of them with you so you could kind of understand. So looking at the backs of the labels, what you want to do when you're looking at nutritional panels is to look at the per 100 gram serving. We're not going to look at the per serving size because a lot of different brands and different products will have different serving sizes. The skinny dipped almonds are 20 grams for a serving size. The Lindt balls are 25 grams per serving size. So instead of looking at the serving size and getting confused, look at the per 100 gram size. So for the Lindt balls, it's 2,200 kilojoules for 100 grams. And when we look at the skinny almonds, they're 2,400 kilojoules for 100 grams. So it's more. I'm not going to go into all the math behind anything and break it down into calories, but all you need to know is that for 100 grams of the skinny almonds, it's actually more calories than 100 grams of the Lindt balls. And so you're not really ideally meant to be eating 100 grams of either of them, but it's just to give you an idea. If you prefer to have little chocolate balls, it's okay to choose those ones. Just know that the calories are less than the almonds, but if you want to have the almonds, go for the almonds. You just have to make sure that you portion them and fit them into your calories. So that was kind of just a breakdown of the nutrition of those two foods, and just to be aware that There are so many different brands in the supermarket and they're all competing for your attention and your money. So by understanding the nutritional labels of foods, you can actually understand your proteins, fats, carbs, how many calories are in it, how much fiber is in it, and then go from there when it comes to actually making your decision, not just picking the first thing that says like low fat or high protein. Often when something says that it's a low fat, they've put in a whole lot of sugar to help like the taste better. And if they haven't used sugar, then chances are they've used artificial sweeteners. It really just depends on what your goal is and what you prefer to put into your body. In terms of what I ended up choosing, I didn't choose the skinny almonds or the limp balls. Both of them were quite expensive. I actually chose something else, which you will see later in the video. And it was really like so easy because it was individually portion sized. So let's get started on my top 10 snacks. I'm going to walk you through them all, show you a little bit more. I'll have a little talk about it here, and then yeah, just kind of review some of the snacks as well. Okay, so the first one is super simple. Don't click out of the video yet, but it is literally just fresh fruit. I absolutely love fresh fruit. I don't know, like when people say they don't like vegetables or fruit, I just can't understand, because fresh fruit when it's in season is so delicious. So currently my favorites are kiwi fruit, grapefruit, and little apples. Absolutely loving them. So simple, you can grab it and go. I recommend leaving some fruit like maybe in your handbag, in the car, just somewhere on the bench, so you can just grab it and go without kind of reaching for like the vending machine at work. Number 2, protein bars. These are kind of my favorite ones right now. The Combat Crunch chocolate cake is my all-time favorite. You can order them online at iherb.com using the code below. What I'll do is I'll usually just eat the protein bar as it is, or sometimes I'll chop it up into little pieces, store it in a jar, and then just kind of pick on it throughout the day. Or if you know I want half today, I'll have half now and then half tomorrow. If you prefer protein bars that have less ingredients, there are so many different kind of natural protein bars, but the chocolate cake one's just kind of my favorite one right now, and it's about 210 calories for the bar, and then the cookies and cream would be my second favorite flavor. But again, there's so many brands out there, it just comes down to what you want. And I know in America there's actually a lot of like natural kind of protein bars. Number 3, little chocolate bars or muesli bars. When you go to the supermarket and you look at the muesli bar section, it is so overwhelming. Even I look at it and I'm like, I don't even know what to get. So I usually just end up getting the same things, which are Fiber One bars. So usually Ross and I will get the Fiber One brownies, but they've just launched the carrot cake and the chocolate cake editions, and oh my gosh, I am loving them. So you can microwave the chocolate cake one and it tastes absolutely delicious. The carrot cake one tastes like a ginger kiss. Absolutely love them. So those are kind of my go-tos in terms of the bars. They're under 90 calories each one, and they also have a little bit of fiber in there as well. And then next to them you can see my chocolate bars. We've got the Moro Gold and the Freddo, which was actually in my last full day of eating video. Ross and I recently have fallen into like a little habit, I guess, of buying little chocolate bars and keeping them in the freezer for snacks across the week. He likes to take one to work. I like to have one each day sometimes, depending how I feel. But it really just depends on what I feel like on the day. Sometimes I want a Fiber One bar, sometimes I want a chocolate bar. At the end of the day, I'm always aiming for about 80% whole foods, 20% soul foods. I mean, these are all pretty much around the same calories, 90 calories. I think this one's 85 calories and this one's only 65 calories. So it just depends how I'm feeling as to what I'll get. Next up, number 4. Fresh fruit, but with a twist. I absolutely love fresh fruit and they're coming into season, but they don't really leave me feeling fuller for longer. So I like to pair them with some kind of protein. So this champagne shaved ham here is super low calories. It's pretty much all protein. I'm not pro, obviously, individual use plastic like this, but if you're on the go and you just need something easy to grab, then this is a good option. Or you could have some hard-boiled eggs, or maybe even just go to the deli and order some ham. So ham and strawberries, easy peasy, and strawberries are coming into season here in New Zealand, so they're even more delicious now. Another option you could do if you don't want to have hard-boiled eggs, or you don't want to have something like ham or chicken, you could go for a vegan protein shake or a protein shake of your choice, either from the refrigerated section of a supermarket, or you could just have protein powder in your bag, either in a sample sachet or just keep it in a shaker so you can mix it with water at any time when, you know, the hunger sets in. Number 5, protein yogurt. There are so many different protein yogurt brands all around the world. Chobani in Australia is my absolute favorite, but anyway, these ones here in New Zealand are pretty good at only 138 calories a pot, and I chose the passion fruit flavor. So just for this one little tub is only 138 calories. Of course, if you are lactose intolerant, what you could do is choose like an almond yogurt or a coconut yogurt and just add some protein powder to it to add in that extra protein boost to help you feel satiated for longer. Number 6, popcorn. A few of the Anjuli Fit Squad have said to me that they really like popcorn. So of course, every country has different brands, but usually a light sea salt one is going to have the best macros as opposed to a super buttery and sugary one. So this one here, the only ingredients are popcorn, canola oil, and sea salt. Super simple, and this one bag is supposed to be about 5 serves, so I'll show you what a serve looks like. Hack when it comes to snacks is to always pour it out into an individual serving instead of just eating from the bag mindlessly. So we're looking for 20 grams. Oh, already I've done more. So that's 30 grams. But we want 1 serving. Just to give you a better idea of these two things, so this is a whole bowl of popcorn versus one tiny Moro Gold bar, and when you look at the calories, they're so similar. The little chocolate bars are less calories, but I mean, you just get so much more popcorn for that extra 7 calories. So understanding your macros is really important in terms of achieving your goals and choosing volume versus caloric dense foods. Number 7, Tom and Luke balls. So this is what I was referring to at the start of my video when I was talking about the Lindt chocolate balls versus skinny almond versus Tom and Luke balls. So if you were to look at the macronutrient information, so here you've got the skinny dipped almonds, here you've got the Lindt balls, and over here you have the Tom and Luke balls. So Tom and Luke per 100 grams is the least amount of calories. It's also the most natural in terms of the ingredients, and I personally like this option versus the other two because it's already portioned. Like one serve is technically 70 grams, so I know that I can eat that pack and track it into my FitnessPal versus the other two where I'd have to like rely on self-control to portion it into like, you know, 20 or 25 gram servings. And of course you could split up the Tom and Luke balls and then put them into a jar if you want to save them for later, but I'll probably just track the whole bag to eat. These are my favorite ones, so the peanut and cacao Tom and Luke ones, and technically one whole bag is a serving size. Number 8, freeze-dried berries and nori, like seaweed. Seaweed is such a good source of iodine, and I actually really like snacking on it, but this is probably the most expensive way to buy them. I like to buy the big sheets of it, but anyway, this is an on-the-go kind of snack packet. And then these ones here I never tried before, but they're on sale and the macros of them are really good. So it's freeze-dried boysenberries. So I'll show you what a serving size of them looks like. So half the pack is going to be a serving size, and for these ones here you can just eat the whole pack. The freeze-dried boysenberries, it was my first time trying them, and honestly, at first I thought, oh yeah, this is nice. Then it was kind of sour because there's no sweetener, no sugar added to them. And then after, they were all stuck through my teeth and through my mouth. I never recommend getting them as a snack. I'm not sure if they're meant to be a snack or if it's meant to be like in baking and like crumbed on your oats or something like that. So probably perfect to top your oats with, but definitely don't try chewing them before you go into a meeting or before you go into any kind of important photo or anything really. It was terrible. However, when it does come to freeze-dried fruits and things like that, often they are very high in calories. So something like freeze-dried or dehydrated bananas can be really high calories. So definitely be aware of what you're putting into your body. The freeze-dried berries were fine in terms of calories, but they just weren't very fun to get out of my teeth. Number 9, tuna and rice. It doesn't really need any explanation other than the tuna is obviously protein, the rice is carbs. It's super simple. If you are in a rush and you just need to use the microwave to heat up your rice and then you tip the tuna into it. Not everyone's into tuna. You could of course get some kind of a canned chicken, some kind of canned beans for vegans and vegetarians out there. I've seen lots of cool things that come in cans these days. Tuna's not really something I would have all the time canned. I'd prefer to have it fresh, but if I'm in a rush or I'm on comp prep or something like that, I love having tuna and rice, or even just tuna on rice cakes. I never usually buy microwavable rice. I think it's a waste of plastic, but I wanted to get these packs to show you them. So each pack is 125 grams. It's already portioned out for you, so if you're in a rush or you can't weigh your food, that is perfect for tracking macros. And then this one here, the sun-dried tomato and basil, I get the 99% fat-free one. I really like the tuna light. And then this other brand I like as well. So 98% fat-free, and sun-dried tomato and onion are my favorite flavors of any kind of canned tuna. It's the only one I eat. And lastly, I saved the best for last, my absolute favorite snack. It's not something I get all the time because smoked salmon is pretty expensive here in New Zealand, but I got some smoked salmon and some rice cakes. Usually I'll have 3 with 90 grams. So each rice cake will have 30 grams of salmon on it. But today I just had 2 as my snack, and I feel very content and happy, and I'm going to be having it all this weekend. Yes! So that wraps up my top 10 snacks on the go. I hope it gives you some ideas for your journey. At the end of the day, the most important thing when it comes to achieving your goals is to make sure that you're sticking to the key habits I've said many times before on my Instagram and on my YouTube. Nutrition. We cannot outwork our diets. Exercise, weight training, or if you're at home without weights, we want to be doing some kind of circuit training, steps, moving across the week, doing, you know, a 1 hour workout 4 times a week is just not enough if you have a very sedentary job and lifestyle. We need to be moving our bodies. Our bodies are designed to move. Water intake, make sure you are drinking at least 2.7 liters of water a day, ideally more if you are active. I personally aim towards 3.5 to 4 liters of water a day. Always have my water bottle on me. Lastly, sleep is so important. Make sure you are getting that 7 to 8 hours. When it comes to fat loss, the most important thing is going to be the total calories in. So just a simple explanation again, if your body requires this many calories to maintain weight, you need to be eating this many calories. So you need to be eating in a caloric deficit, which is less calories than your body requires to maintain weight. All of these snacks that I've given you are macro friendly, so you could, you know, track them on MyFitnessPal, fit them into your calories, and if you're on high calories because you're building muscle, heck, you might have 2 of them. Instead of 1 fiber, 1 bar, you might be having 2 each day. It is all about making foods fit into your lifestyle and enjoying what you eat each day. Life is way too short for boring foods. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile.